Welcome to the Vegan Soul Sister channel. I'm Joey, and this is
Talk Story with the Plant-Based Newbie.
We're excited to have Kathy here with us today. I've known Kathy for quite a bit now through Zumba, and I'm excited for you to meet her and to hear about her journey. Like everybody else's, her journey's had one of these things happening.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Up and down.
Yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. But first, let's get to know her.
Hi, I'm Kathy, and I was born in St. Louis, Missouri, raised in San Francisco, California. Yes. You never
I thought
asked.
she was a local girl.
No, you never asked. I was raised in San Francisco, California. I've lived out here 27 years in Hilo, Hawaii.
That's why. 27 years. That makes you...
This is home.
Yeah.
Half German, 1/4 African American, English, Irish, English.
Another sister in the house! What? When you finally landed here in Hilo, was there a diet change? There's something related to food that stood out for you or that was different for you?
Mostly rice all the time, which I didn't mind because
Short
I like rice. Spam musubi, the local plate lunches, like Korean chicken, barbecue chicken. I was very much a fan of chicken all the time because they said chicken was best for you.
And we hear that a lot, right?
Yes. Yes.
That's what's called clean food and healthy food, and all the health nuts eat chicken. So what was your like relationship with food and weight?
My relationship with food was normally I don't eat much. Make sure it was under so many calories.
How many?
Like 800.
You were on an 800 calorie diet at 25 years old? Oh, and we all know that according to the World Health Organization, that is like way beyond starvation rates.
I would drink, to curb my appetite, I would drink Diet Pepsi all the time in between. Lots of Diet Pepsi. I was addicted to Diet Pepsi.
So what was your weight at that time? Like, did you feel like that was paying off in the way that you looked? And
I felt it was paying off in the way that I looked, but later on in life it caught up to me. I would say good 10 years later, it was catching up. Having type 2 diabetes. At 35, I was at an ideal weight.
Okay.
However, I was showing signs of just jitters all the time because I was just packing on the Diet Pepsi.
How many were you drinking a day?
A good 10 Diet Pepsis
daily. Oh my gosh.
It would keep me from eating, and that was like a big addiction for me, which I finally gave up about 5 years ago.
So what is making you sad right now?
The fact I took the avenue I took in eating the way I was eating. I was depriving myself of nutrients and the foods that are good for me because I thought that that was the way to lose weight. I thought that I had to be this certain image for not only myself but society, for acceptance. So that's been a battle to be with my husband, or for someone to love me for who I am.
Like, that's hard to believe that somebody would love you for who you are without having this put together, this image.
That's how I thought. That image has been sort of branded in me.
Of course.
For so long. To reverse it, which I'm trying to do, to reverse it is hard. I would go through binges because I neglected myself, because I wasn't giving myself the proper nutrients that my body needed. Later on in life, I would drop my kids off to school, and I was a stay-at-home mom. I would stop at the store right at the corner and pick up pound cake, and I would eat that. I eat the whole thing. I was doing something to hurt myself. And I didn't know why I was doing it.
So when you were doing it, you didn't know why? Were you lonely at that time?
Very lonely. So I would do it repeatedly during the week.
I think that's something that I was a single mom. You were a stay-at-home mom, and even if you're married and you're staying home and we don't have the social structures in place, that can feel very lonely, and that isolation causes us to act out in lots of different ways. And for me, there was a period of time when I ate like crazy and I drank wine like crazy, just to numb that feeling of loneliness.
I was eating.
Yeah.
Eating a lot. And binging a lot. I would do it to myself when the kids were in school. They continually try to do things about it.
Like what? What were you doing?
Remembering my dad passing with a massive heart attack at the age of 60. He had his first stroke at 42. And I knew I would have to do something to work in the opposite direction. Exercise wasn't much of an issue for me, but eating and getting my eating in control.
What happened a year ago that really made you like work your ass off?
I was just inspired by you're losing weight and how you were losing weight and how you were getting healthy, but you had that energy. It was a time for commitment for me because I am 52 now and I need to, I think of my dad at 60. It's like running a race. I want to run backwards. My dad was my best friend. And I love my family, my grandkids. And I just want the most out of life for me. I need that time for me now. Because
again, even with that commitment, it was like she was sprinting, and then all of a sudden she disappeared. You moved to Oahu.
Yes,
and you were gone a little bit, and I didn't see you for a while, and you came back and you had gained all the weight back.
Yes, I did.
So can you talk about that? What was happening? What were you eating? How were you feeling, most importantly? Because it's not just about the food.
I couldn't find a good Zumba class.
On Oahu, come on.
No one to teach like this badass here.
Zumba.com, people, Zumba.com.
I hear what you, no, I did, but no one taught the way you taught.
Everywhere I go.
No one taught like Jill.
But it's not their fault that you put on weight.
No, it's not.
Okay, so tell me about what you were doing, what you were feeling.
I was with my husband. My husband and I have been back and forth. He's taking for his mom and dad. His dad is hospice, and his mom has Parkinson's and dementia.
Because we're learning now dementia, Alzheimer's, all that food related.
So when I go to
you're
Oahu, I'm actually literally staring death in the eye. So that causes me to be discouraged.
No, like when you're caretaking for somebody who has Parkinson's or on hospice, like I have zero connection with what that means. Like what kind of things do you have to do as a caretaker?
Caretaker, you're spoon feeding, you're blending everything, his food, literally his meal, you're blending in a blender.
So you're having to spoon feed
Yes.
your parents.
Yes.
God, can you imagine what that feels like? I can't.
Yeah, and then they're talking to you and forget what they're talking about. We wanted to, like, trying to get off meat, which for me is more like the fish.
Yeah.
get off fish, get off
So you
chicken.
okay? So instead of participating in the challenge, you were like, let me do this in secret, like get a little bit of a running start.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because
you wanted to prove to yourself that you might have a little bit of success because.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because failing in public, because we were posting out, I'm a huge proponent of take pictures, post, tell us what you're doing. And so that's very public within the challenge group. And so somebody like you who's like nervous about failing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I knew I'm going to make a commitment that I wanted to make it 100%.
Yeah.
Which January 1st. The reason why I knew it was nutrition, anything nutritious, anything plant-based, anything on God's given earth, I just felt that was given to us.
Mm-hmm.
And
so it made sense to you.
Yeah, it made perfect, crystal clear sense. So just about after the end of the year, took a deep breath and I just told myself, I'm going to do this.
And you must have known that you were lacking it.
Yes, I was.
Yeah, because you were still on the calorie deprivation thing.
Yes, I was.
That's one of the struggles.
I would count my calories, yes.
Yeah, that was one of the struggles that even through the month of January that you and I spent a lot of time talking about.
I know.
What was the thing that I would tell you the most?
Eat. You could tell me eat as much as I can. And when you told me to eat as much as I can of the vegan food, plant-based foods, I don't have to worry. And not to weigh myself, which I did one time.
She was really good about that because I tell a lot, stop weighing yourself and just focus on nutrition.
February 1st, I couldn't wait to weigh myself.
So she waited a month.
I weighed and I lost 10.2 pounds.
10.2 pounds.
And I was so, I just said, Joey, you're right. You're right. I could eat.
We should say that more often. What was that?
You're right. I told you could steal the month of February too. Just tell me.
Because that's one of the things I said. Please, just give me the month.
Yeah.
Give me the month. And I'm really interested in knowing at what point did you then start eating until you were full, and what did that feel like?
I ate till I was full the latter part of January.
Because you were still, it's a hard habit to break.
It is. Even going to 80%.
So it's not like you're eating in a closet, right?
I was eating literally a plate full, and I didn't think I was going to lose diddly squat. And it was agonizing toward the end of the month because I didn't think I lost 10.2 pounds. Yeah. I was so elated. I was so happy that, okay, I gave you the month and it worked.
What were you eating that you didn't think you could eat?
Sweet
or what did you feel like you had freedom to eat?
Tater tots. What else?
Avocado pasta.
Oh my gosh, avocado pasta like crazy. So my body eventually needed a lot of pasta, a lot of avocado.
A lot of starch.
And my craves have been so fulfilled. I'm going on to a rice thing now. Where I'm having stir-fried rice, and I really, I'm just listening to my body and listening to the needs that my body's been deprived of. The output is, I'm feeling more energized. I don't feel sluggish because I ate crap. I feel energy. I'm starting to feel robust energy now that a lot of the crap is pulled from my gut and out. That's
what she said. We had XY class this morning, and she leans over and she's like, I have robust energy. I was like, yeah, focus.
I'm always bothering you. Sorry.
Focus.
Speaking of mental clarity, I would do double Zumba classes.
Yes, she is.
And not eat seriously before doing or in between. And I still went through that. I'm holding on to that starving thing. Yeah. And I noticed I could not focus. My hands didn't want to do the moves.
Well, said that twice though.
No, I know why. I didn't know. So, light bulb went on. It's like I'm not feeding my brain to do the movements. and it needs to be like a kid. It needs to be fed.
Or we talked about, isn't it you and me that talked about your car? Like, if you didn't put gas inside of your car, like you wouldn't cuss out your car for running out of gas. You'd be like, oh yeah, I need to put gas in it. But we like chastise ourselves and talk so badly about ourselves when our arms don't want to move, and then we go, wait, yeah, we didn't feed our body. Feed the body, and then it'll do what you need it to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, I had to reverse my thinking because I felt, well, how am I going to lose weight if I'm going to be feeding myself? I feed myself, I'm full. I have my carbs before I work out and just know when to do it. My protein after my workout. Getting my protein from plant-based foods, beans.
So what do you think about when you think about a year from now, 2 years from now, when you turn 60? What is your prognosis of your future now?
Me, I'm looking into reversing diabetes.
Does your doctor know that you're going plant-based?
I did tell him.
And what did he say about that?
It was in brief. He didn't. Just make sure I have complex carbs.
Because I want to make sure that it's really clear that what we're talking about here on Plant-Based Newbie is not medical recommendations. So if you have illnesses that you've been diagnosed and you're working with a physician, continue to work with your physician and seek the appropriate support, because that's really important.
Yes.
You know, our goal isn't to like pass out medical advice, but what we do know is that food, what you put into your body will impact it one way or the other.
Yes.
We have consequences, either good or bad, depending on what you put into your body. That's all we're advocating for here.
Back in June.
Oh, good.
So near the end of June. So I know I'm looking for results.
That'll be almost 6 months on a plant-based diet. That's going to be exciting.
Not only that, for Cardi, I know I'm doing right by myself. My food message would be not to deprive yourself of the nutrients your body so much needs. Make a choice. Turn it around. The sooner the better, because you can undo things that has been done to you. There is one thing.
Okay.
You told me I used to get migraines. I have not had a migraine headache. Remember I told you said you ate dairy, and I realized that was back in December or whatever, and I had Taco Bell, and I had the cheese and stuff.
Yes! And you haven't had?
I haven't had a migraine.
Girl!
I haven't had one migraine, and I was thinking to myself, and usually comes around for us women that time of month and stuff. So no, I haven't had a migraine headache in 6 weeks. I'm not, no more meat, no more dairy. And
no more migraines.
My gut's just cleansing, and I feel really happy about that. I got my husband too to eat a tofu taco, and he liked it. He said it just tastes like chicken. He enjoyed it. So
we're getting these husbands, guys. We're getting the husbands. That makes me so thrilled.
I want to live, and I want my family to live a long time.
Exactly.
It's so
with
important to me. That's my lifeline,
You know, I know I've asked some tough questions, and really we spent some time analyzing your life, and it's not an easy thing to do, to really open up your heart and the places that are the most vulnerable for us and share it with like strangers, in hopes that somebody out there connects. And that takes a brave person, and you are one brave woman, and I really appreciate you spending that time and opening up to us.
Thank you.
And if you guys identify with any of the stories that we talked about today, please make comments below, and remember to like the video if you liked it, and share it with a plant-based newbie or somebody who's struggling with calorie restriction like so many of us did, or binging like so many of us do. Please share it with them so that they can see that there is a way that we can feel better and feel healthy. We'll see you next time.
Cause you win some, you lose some. But if you learn your lesson, you ain't lose none. I face a lot of tests, but I ain't lose once. I face a lot of tests, but I ain't lose once. Cause you win some, you lose some.